talk about mobility, because actually, if you can get people to share a car, you can take out, I mean, a lot of cars in the streets. I think it's Singapore where they looked at how they could bring it down to about 40% of the cars if we would use them smarter. And the interesting thing about technology is that it makes sharing easy and fun and not annoying. It used to be a little bit difficult to share. You know, you would have to go in somewhere in the other end of town and get a key. And I mean, that's not what you want to do if you want to take your car. But if you can just use your neighbor's car because you have a smartphone and an app and you don't even need to know the neighbor to get into his car, it's much easier and much more fun to share. And you start then thinking completely different about transport and traffic. And I think it's very important that we do not just try to fix yesterday's paradigm, but think about how do we want a city to move.
So I want you guys who are worried about the World Economic Forum taking over and making you live in pods and eating bugs. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, don't worry. Everything's going to be just fine. I can't believe people pay these people money. Yeah, they want to destroy private ownership. The problem is that, like, the way that they think about things is devoid of, like, human logic. It's almost like they are designing something for, like, robots, but there's, like, never any consideration of, like, human friction and, like, human behavior. And that's the issue. They assume blind trust. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let me start off by giving all praises and all blessings to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahar HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the women and the children who watch and who learn from these videos. You will own nothing and be happy. All right. Now, starting from the elder apostles on down, there were videos made on this subject. All right, years ago. Okay, I'm just revisiting this subject because, you know, as the scriptures tell you, meditate on the downfall of this devil. And so, you know, in doing so, you got to look at Jake, our people. You got to look at the 2/3 of our people. Okay, and 2/3 of our people, they're lost in the sauce. They really don't get it. Okay, it says you will own nothing and be happy. And so these agendas, they're cheerfully pushed through Christianity. They're cheerfully pushed through 501c3 charter organizations and people with their hand out. Right now, you know, bear with me if you may. P. Diddy, the diddler, okay, has a trial going. And you know what's going on with his trial. And if you've been watching, they went to a old recording from Prince, the artist Prince. Before he died, he made some tapes exposing all of the weird stuff that he's seeing. But you know, in reality, these people, okay, it's not as weird for 2/3 of our people as it seems to be. Okay, the majority of the people here in the West, in Babylon, especially here in America, okay, they will do absolutely anything for money. And I did a video yesterday, and through the spirit, uh, it had me thinking on this topic. Okay. When looking at the P. Diddy trial, okay, even Prince is saying uh P. Diddy manipulated these people, okay, and had them doing whatever for had them doing whatever for the chance to get a record deal and be rich, okay? But the reality is, okay, the reality is uh these people uh and you know 2/3 of the Israelites here in America, they'll do anything for money, and that's just the reality. You couldn't pay me to let you know P. Diddy uh you know do something weird with me, okay? I You couldn't pay me to do that. But guess what? Okay? This is Babylon the Great, baby. All right? And they could put a woman in your face, okay? Because this woman Cassie, okay, she was a decent woman, you know, if she's your type of woman, okay. They could send her your way, and you could be a man, and she could freak you off, and a lot of Jake, all right, they're weak for women. They're weak for women, okay. Women, they're weak for men and other women and material shit, okay. And so ultimately, this devil, he has the game in the rap. Okay, this devil has the game in the rap. He got the game in the chokehold. Um, let's say you make $50 an hour. Okay, in this present time. Um, Let me get a scripture real quick. Okay, this is Haggai 1:6. It says, "Ye have sown much, and bring in little." Okay, ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes, and the West is full of holes. Esau's game, even though he has it in a chokehold, it's full of holes, and we're seeing the exposure of these holes when you see the weft, okay, the weft uh, quoting, making quotes, which says you'll own nothing and be happy. 2/3 of our people own absolutely nothing and are happy. Okay? They own nothing and are happy. When when if I'm on public transit, because you have to see the shit to believe it. All right? None of the people, like yesterday, okay? Yesterday was a holiday here in the West. Okay, Memorial Day for the veterans. And the the majority of the people who got on public transportation, they didn't have money to even ride on public transportation. And these are so-called Negroes, all right? These Negroes have been here for generations. They didn't have money. And it's so bad now to where the bus driver or the train driver, they don't ask for fares anymore because you know somehow Jake don't have, I mean it's so bad, okay, to where you know Jake he's got a gun on him, okay, and he's going to use it on you if you ask him to pay. Believe it or not, okay, believe it or not, this is the truth. I got videos to bag it up. Um, we're in, okay, the scriptures call it the beginning of sorrows, all right? Jacob's trouble, all right? Um, but these Jakes were on the bus, okay? Didn't have money to get on, but they were they were happy. They were happy that they couldn't pay to get on, and they were happy to be going to a barbecue, okay? I was seeing them, they come back drunk. They were going to go get drunk and have a good time. Okay? Didn't have money to make it to the barbecue or come back. You had women you got women, and the nigga woman is the worst. Okay? She is the worst woman of all of the women in the tribe. She is the worst. She is the lowest. Okay? She's damn near on Esau low. Okay? If not lower. They were getting on with their children. So now you're teaching children because they're learning, they're looking and seeing what the fuck your dumb nigga ass is doing. And so you're stealing the fare with your children, okay? And the children are oh, what she's doing, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grow up to do that because they learned the lesson from her. That's who they're around, okay? They was drunk, they were fighting, Okay? Uh, you know, the woman, she drunk. The man, he drunk. Okay? They're fighting. There's children around. He's slamming the shit out of her. She jumping up, running up on him. He's steady slamming her. And the kids just running back and forth, crying, watching. But when they done doing all of that, they hop in the car, turn the music up, okay? And then they go and they're happy. And then we look at them and we shake our head. But guess what? Because this scripture says, and he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. And so if you're making $50 an hour, let's say you're making 50, that's not enough money. Listen, rent here in Chicago is for what the damn near studio 1 bedroom, $1,800, man. And once they smack you with taxes, how are you gonna eat? This is not by chance, okay? Some people run, they they gotta hurry up and run. They run and go buy them homes. 20 year, 30 year, rate, whatever rate that they get. And unless you're working 3 or 4 jobs, you're not going to be able to feed yourself, even if you're making $50 an hour. And guess what? Some states, they still have a minimum wage of below $10. It's their minimum wage in some states. People have a home, people have a car, and you do not own that. You are not a happy owner. You're not a happy camper. Okay? So when you see what P. Diddy is doing, P. Diddy is doing what they're doing. He's practicing what they're practicing. They're telling you you will own nothing and be happy, which is precisely exactly the same thing that P. Diddy is showing you what they're doing to you. And this is what they're doing to you. You have a house, you have a car, you don't own that. And guess what? You're happy. Jake is happy. So this dimwit, okay? This dimwit, I don't know her name. I'm not familiar with the name of these WEF people. All right. But she's a damn dimwit. All right. She was 100% correct. People in Babylon, they own nothing and they are happy. They party, you know. I see the Northern Kingdom. The Northern Kingdom, they party hard, man. Okay? They party hard. Playing that damn circus music, all right? And own nothing. They're earning wages to put it into a bag filled with holes. You got Israelites trying to create an Israelite town, an Israelite community full of people earning wages to put it into a bag filled with holes. But see, that's what disobedience brings. That's what disobedience brings when the scriptures tell you this is not your rest. It is polluted. Esau feeds you confusion. He gives you these laws that they create, and the laws are phony. Okay, he doesn't follow them. He's not keeping in line with the laws. You see, but you Jakes, you follow them, and you're happy doing so. You're so happy that you put up the nothing you that you have on social media. So the rest of the world is looking at like, hey, they're having a great fucking time with nothing. And then you have every Edomite jumping at the opportunity to get in the game, all right, off of you Jakes. Because guess what? On that those elite Edomites, they're still divvying for power. You know, they're jockeying for power, man. And ultimately, the total control, as said by Aaron Russo, okay, when he was talking to David Rothschild, I believe it was David, one of the Rothschilds. I forget who he got the information from. Is that this power struggle is going to ultimately lead to one of these very powerful elites, all right, initiating Revelation the 13th chapter and to forcefully have you implanted, okay, to show who ultimately runs this motherfucking circus, okay? Now he's you know, they begin to dry up the well, man. Okay? The well is dry. Okay? But you Jakes, you're still happy. See, their strategy is strategic. They've placed guns into the community to do away with numbers. Like they really don't need a war. Okay? They strategically, and you go and vote for these people, all right? They're strategically creating incidents, okay, to support this end goal, okay? Agendas to make the men weak, all right, with the Momo spirit, okay, bad food and the Momo spirit everywhere, to the transformer, just the transformer with whatever spirit he's in, uh, he's more, uh, you know, brazen than the Momo, okay, in that he's using deception. Yeah, the Transformers were out in number yesterday. So there's a lot of drinking and route, and Jake get drunk, he's riding around, okay? Your members, get uh when you're drunk, you know, your judgment is altered. You're in an altered state of judgment. Especially a lot of you Jakes be just so damn drunk, man. You know, I drink, man, but I never get to that point, man, to where I'm in a altered state. But a lot of you Jake, you get silly. You get silly, okay? When you're inebriated, right? And you ride around in the first transformer you see, you get to running it up on the transformer. And before you know it, that's what these transformers were waiting for. Oh man. So let me get another scripture. You know, see Israelite groups, the Sakari, and a lot of these Israelite groups, they're happy, man. These niggas is happy, man. It's happy days. Happy day. Okay? It's happy days again for these niggas. All right? I don't know where to start. Second Ezra 16 and 19. All right? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Okay? So when this shit is happening, Jake is not, you had Katrina, all kind of hell has hit Jake like a ton of bricks. Okay? The police just mollywhopping Jake ass, man. Okay? And Jake just look at it and Jake just, well, whatever, nigga. Like the nigga woman. That's her mind. That's her mind state. Jake slammed the shit out of her ass like 3 times. And she was a fairly decent looking fucking chick. This nigga looked like a roach. I mean, hey, just slamming her. Boom, boom, boom. She bounced back up each time, running up on him. And then they jump in the car together. You know, see her down the street. She fixing her hair, laughing. See? You better be mindful of these scourges, man. All right? Verse 21 says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, because these Democrats and Republicans, these pastors in these churches, these 501c3 charter groups, they're all in unison. They're all in unison. They're all working together. One having more knowledge than the other one about the plan. One holding all of the cards, all right? There's a Jake at my job, man. This guy is 80 years old, man. And he's still working a job. Ex-military. Okay? Comes in with a cane. Still working. Okay? You know, and I talked to this guy, man. All right? And that's Jake. Jake has one foot in the grave. All right, my device went out. All right, so but you know, just saying, Jake got one foot in the grave and another foot on the banana peel, man. Okay, and Jake is happy with that, man. Okay, this Jake at my job, 80 years old, man. This Jake's older than him. You know, they're not happy anymore. Okay, because now the evil days are upon them, man. They're going through it. You know, there was once upon a time, hey, in the day of my grandmother and mother and father, all right, they could get a, a, a fucking case of hot dogs, all right, for 15 cent, 20 cent, all right. Get bread, you get all type of stuff for for under $5 when you go to the grocery store, man. Now $5 is tax on a $2 bag of potato chips, man. $5 is the tax on that. $5 is the tax on a 12-ounce Coca-Cola. So these jakes who bought in, you're not good anymore. A lot of these jakes have to, again, they have to jump up and go get another job, some other type of hustle to feed themselves, man. To pay those bills, man. Now some jake, they took the provisions and, you know, they're able to sustain uh just a little bit better. But hey, shit, if it's not a financial woe, then it's a health woe. Then there's another type of, you know, pain, something else. Famine, sword, and great confusion. And Esau is able to thrive in this environment. These heathen, they're thriving in this environment. Verse 22 says, "For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine." And we're seeing that going on here in Babylon, okay, among our people here in the West. But when you look to Gaza, okay, parts of Africa, okay, people are perishing from famine. It says, "And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." And so we don't see the 1948er, the people that you call Jewish, going through this. These are end time prophecies. And it's not going to get any ender, okay, than where we are at now. This is the absolute end, to the point to where this place could be totally destroyed in a few months. That's how deep in the end we are. So to think that, something's going to happen 20 or 30 years from now, and the J-ish people, all right, are going to somehow lose power, and then, no, man. They wouldn't, it'd take another 1,000 years for them to fulfill the prophecy that Jake, that we have already been through. So a lot of you are not keeping up, man. "And the dead shall be cast out as dung." All right. "And there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down." All right. And we're seeing that on a smaller level with places like, I can only speak from where I'm at now. If you come to Chicago, you see places like Harvey. The world knows about Dalton, okay, Riverdale. Those were once prosperous, elegant cities that are now that cast down. Jake, there's a video of this Jake who killed another Jake simply for looking at his girlfriend at the gas station. Okay? And this guy was in his 40s. He deleted another Jake for looking at his girlfriend in a gas station. There was a Jake at a restaurant down in Florida. Okay? He was at work. He's working, and he came from behind the counter and deleted a man over some mayonnaise because the man called him a pussy or a bitch. Okay? And he was a pussy and a bitch because, as the story goes, the police found him hiding under. He ran away, and the police found him hiding under some stairs. Hiding under some stairs, man. So he didn't stand up and say, "Yeah, I did it." Oh, he ran away. He scurried away like a little pussy bitch. They caught him anyway. And so you dead Israelites, your life is nothing. Your life is nothing because you own nothing and you are happy. And so these Edomites, they see this. They see you twerking and having a good time on social media. They see you having a good time, flying around the world. They see you. They say these niggas, they doing all this. They don't own shit. We still pay them with a FRN note. We're still the enemy. They think we're the friends. So guess what? They're begging to be slaves again. They're just begging. And so they're going to whichever one of these elites, all right? And it's already in the works. Okay? They're all jockeying for the position, to put you in the chokehold, man. Put you in that full Nelson. All right? But they're gonna do one of those grappling moves that you can't get out of, like like the Iron Sheik. He got the camel clutch, the camel clutch, man. They're putting you in the camel clutch. All right, and you're happy. No one's happy in the camel clutch. If you've ever been in a camel clutch, okay. So anyway, Lord willing, you were edified, and yeah, man, that RFID chip is coming. It's coming. Okay? Matter of fact, it's already here. And that's going to solidify the total control, the total power of which one of these Edomites really got it. Is just like going back to trading places. Okay, Mortimer. All right. That dollar bet. And that's what these elites are doing on you people. See, the rest of these Edomites, they don't care about a damn RFID chip. Elam, it doesn't matter to them. They could give two fucks about taking the chip. Okay? Because they know, hey, it's not in their spirit, but hey, you Jake, that take that chip, all right? That's going to be it for you now. Okay? That's going to be it for you. All right? So with that being said, Lord willing, you will edify till next time. Shalom.